With the recent rise and fall of play-to-earn games like Axie Infinity, you may be wondering if this monetization model is crypto's latest scheme. But what if I told you that this model has been around for decades in games that you've heard of before? Stay tuned for the history of play-to-earn, the metaverse, and how you can benefit. What do these four popular games all have in common? They're free to sign up and start playing, they're massively multiplayer, and they all give you the ability to exchange in-game currency for real-world currency. It is against the terms of service for RuneScape and WoW to do this, but there are plenty of examples of users making some extra cash by doing so. You just run the risk of getting banned. Both Roblox and Second Life allow you to cash out directly with the company from your in-game currency, and so we'll be focusing on Second Life today as it's the oldest working example of the Metaverse, or that thing that Zuckerberg keeps trying to poach. Second Life launched 2 decades ago in 2003 and was founded by this guy, Philip Rosedale. He was trying to build a steel contraption with TVs strapped to it in order to immerse us in virtual reality in 1999, and somehow that effort evolved into an immersive online platform in just a few short years. Second Life got massive media attention in 2006, which is incidentally when the first Metaverse Millionaire was created. An online avatar by the name of Anch Chung had turned an initial investment of only $10 into over $1 million by investing in virtual real estate. This impressive feat, performed in under 3 years, made her an icon and caused an immense amount of signups for Second Life, and she even made the cover of Business Week. Sorry for the quality of the image here, but it's from 2006, so this is the best we can do. The great wealth of Second Life wouldn't stop with Chung, and by 2015, the in-game economy was measured to be at around $500 million, which is more than the GDP of some small countries. Users had cashed out over $60 million from the ecosystem as well. This kind of wealth is very similar to what we've seen from the play-to-earn crypto space recently, with games like Axie Infinity being worth $1 billion even after their economy collapsed. Now, this level of success doesn't come without its scandals, and because Second Life operates like a real economy, they had real bank runs too. In 2007, they announced a ban on in-game gambling, which caused a massive liquidity crisis. With several banks that were essentially Ponzi schemes collapsing, Linden Labs, the developers of Second Life, decided to place a ban on interest in all banked funds in early 2008. It's fascinating to me that at the same time we were experiencing a real great financial crisis, there was a video game experiencing very similar issues. There are some key differences in how Second Life's economy functions compared to a lot of the new Web3 games that we see today. Unlike Web3 games that reward players for participating at any level, Second Life decided to reward players who create content for the ecosystem and sell it to others. This lets players craft their own unique worlds filled with anything that they can imagine and then market it. This style of reward system is very similar to Roblox or Web3 games like Decentraland and The Sandbox. Players are given complete freedom to create and the tools with which to do so. Real quick, I think it's important to explain what blockchain technology brings to the play-to-earn space, since the idea itself is not very new. One thing that all these games share is that if you're banned from the game for any reason, you lose access to your assets. This has escalated to lawsuits in some circumstances when the asset value is high enough. But with blockchain, it's more like owning these Pokemon cards. See, I own these physically, so I can sell them to whoever I want, and no one can take them away from me. Unless I'm being robbed. I don't need to go through the developers in order to trade my assets, and were the company to go bankrupt, I wouldn't lose access to them either. This allows for awesome opportunities that we're just starting to uncover. For example, EtherOrcs, one of the first fully on-chain Web3 games, just announced that their team is going to stop working on the game moving forward. However, the community is voting to continue with the development themselves, utilizing all of the original assets and smart contracts. This means that they can pick up right where the developers left off, and there's still hope for the game moving forward. Play-to-earn gaming is ultimately about rewarding players that provide value to the ecosystem. This creates a mutually beneficial relationship that inspires players to make the game better for everyone. If the value that you provide the game is cheap labor in the form of playing the game at the lower levels with minimal investment, then that's perfectly fine. Just expect to be compensated less than someone who has created a third-party storefront or is providing liquidity to the game's currency or real estate markets. Those who have an eye for business and opportunity will thrive in this system. And that's who I intend to be. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So how do play-to-earn economies function? Is it really possible to give out earnings to everyone playing the game? Well, yes and no, but in fact, it's actually very similar to how free-to-play games like Fortnite function. So let's start by dissecting that. Both free-to-play and play-to-earn allow the user to join up for free. This allows them to enjoy larger player counts and attract different types of players to the game. They then allow users to spend a lot of money on in-game items, often as much money as the user wishes. There are a few players called whales that finance the rest of the game's development for everyone else with truly massive purchases. Play to earn is just an extension of this model, where some of the funds that are spent by whales are redistributed to other players for their contributions. Keep in mind that the company that is creating the game also has to extract value from the system in order to be paid for their services. This means that not everyone can come out positive in the long run, and so these games will always be somewhat speculative. That being said, there are numerous ways to take advantage of play to earn gaming. If you want a truly no risk approach, you could offer your time and skills in exchange for real money for your services. If you have cash burning a hole in your pocket, then your options open up significantly. You could speculate on land, participate in liquidity pools or governance, run a business, and so much more. Or you could try and snowball your way to being the next Metaverse millionaire, just like Ant Chung did over 15 years ago. Hopefully now you see that play to earn gaming is an eventuality and not an anomaly. Web3 gaming with blockchain technology is just the newest evolution of this concept. All we have to do is sit back and wait for the games that are in development to finally release. But if you're fed up of waiting like I am and you want to see how much you can earn right now, then check out the video on screen. Thanks, I'll catch you in the next one.